or anyone from IIIT Hyderabad?
Yeah. Me, Shrivinesh, Jay, Mihir, and all are there. Yeah.
All right,
What's
so
up?
good to go.
Yeah, we are ready. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We already started
And
streaming.
All right,
this is being streamed live right now.
all right, great. Can all the participants kindly turn on their cams? Kindly ensure that your hands are visible to the organizers at all points of time. Uh, Also, we had asked you to form WhatsApp groups with the two team members and the quiz master in it. Most of you have done it, but the ones that haven't done it yet, kindly do it. And the WhatsApp groups, kindly rename as in whatever team names that you've given to the groups. Kindly put in your team number as well, because it's easier for me to keep track of your who's if the team number is there.
Major, we don't know our
So
team
along with
numbers
the
yet.
team name, just put team number in the bracket.
Major, we don't know our team numbers.
Yeah, I'll give you the team numbers. One sec.
Should I send them on the chat?
Yeah, you can put the team numbers on the chat. Just put in the same order as we had.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, I was really hungry and Major's insisting that my camera stay on. So you guys.
Good to see someone doing what he does best. All the laundry is reserved only for the quizzes.
I've been saving it up, Major. There's been a lot piling up. I had to save it for this quiz.
Some of them getting audience requests to change the camera angle so that your ironing technique is visible. People want tips.
Also, are there some teammates missing, or are all of you here?
Team one is Jyotesh and Pratyush. Are you both here?
I'm here. Pradesh will be joining later.
Okay. Keshav and Ajay, you're both here. Varun and Samant are both here. Gokul, Lone Wolf is here. Ritvik and Preetham are both here. Yeah, we're waiting for, I think, Rajiv and Srinath. Anshul is here. Is Beba here? Not yet.
I can see Baba on the list.
I'm here, Major.
Major, can you hear me? I'm here.
Yeah, Mir, go ahead.
Sir, sent you a link of a Google Sheet doc. I'll be scoring here, and Mukund will be taking scores on paper.
Perfect, perfect.
So you're able to access the sheet, right?
Yeah.
Cool, cool.
Good to go. Are we waiting for anyone else? Anshul Beba should be joining, I hope.
He's here. He's here.
He's here? All right,
Yeah.
perfect. But I can't see him.
I'm here,
Okay,
Major.
perfect. And Jyotish, Pratyush will be joining late, or are we waiting for him?
No, we'll be joining late. We'll
All
do
right,
him.
perfect. Perfect. All right, so start then. So welcome to the finals of Felicity 2021, organized by IIIT Hyderabad. Thanks a lot to the TV Room Quiz Club of IIIT for letting me be a part of this. And congrats to the top 8 teams in the finals who made it from nearly 180 odd teams. Very well done. I'll start sharing my screen and give you the rules. Kindly confirm if the screen is visible.
It's visible.
Okay, fine. So welcome to the finale. 4 rounds. Round 1 is written 4 questions. Round 2 clockwise 10. Round 3 written 4. Round 4 anti-clockwise 10. So we've asked all of you to make a WhatsApp group. So Rajiv and Srinath, you both joined late. Kindly form a WhatsApp group with the 2 of you and me in the group. All your bounces and written down answers will be taken there.
Major, I've already formed a message. Can you have a look?
Let me check. Yeah, Rajiv, got it. So without any further delay, starting with round number 1. Written down 4 questions, 10 points for every correct answer. The topic is Pokemon. So when the last quiz happened 1 week ago at IIT Kharagpur, somebody asked me, why don't you do a round on Pokemon? So I thought, okay, why not do a round on Pokemon? 4 questions on Pokemon. At the end of question number 4, send all 4 answers as a single attempt on the WhatsApp group. Question number 1 coming up. This large, gentle, and helpful Pokemon enjoys ferrying people across water bodies. The name of this Pokemon is thought to be derived from that of a French mathematician who worked on the mathematical properties of the sea and tides. Which mathematician? Part 1. Part 2, take a good look at the Pokemon and take a guess as to what the Pokemon itself is inspired by or based on. What inspired the look of this Pokemon or the general environment, the whole plot of this Pokemon? What inspired it? What could it possibly be? Something that you would have often encountered in quizzes. I want the inspiration for this Pokemon itself and the inspiration for the name. I don't want the name. Simply tell me, who is this French mathematician who worked on mathematical properties of the sea and tides, among other things. He also worked a lot on astronomy. For the second part, take a good close look. What could this Pokemon be based on?
Major, you said that this something is also encountered in quizzes.
Correct. Whatever the inspiration for the Pokemon is, something you would often find being asked in quizzes. Again, take a good look at the image, the blue thing. Part of it is submerged. Multiple people from the audience have already cracked both parts. Question number 2. When material rich in reddish brown iron oxide is removed, one ends up finding lighter material rich in lime. Now, this lighter stuff hardens when exposed to winds, forming a protective layer in the process. The most famous among all the end results of this influence the look of this Pokemon you're going to see in the next slide. What are we talking about? I want you to tell me what influenced the look of this Pokemon. I want a very specific answer. A very broad answer will fetch you 5 points. The specific answer will fetch you 10 points. Read the text again, read the first para. What can you connect it to? I don't want a broad answer. I want a very specific answer, but if you give me that broad answer, you'll get 5 points. So if the broad answer is the Indian cricket team, the specific answer that I want would be Virat Kohli. So that's how you should. To be on the safer side, you can try and put both answers. So if the broad answer is correct, you'll still get 5 points. Multiple people getting everything so far. Abhinav Dar, Anush Iyer, Arun TP, Ritvik Rao, Tanmay Roy. A lot of people tracking everything so far. Number 3. L-Game is a Generation 5 Pokemon whose backstory attributed its origin to a development from the mid-20th century in the US. Its upright and gray-colored appearance is thought to be a nod at something from the other side of the Atlantic. Part 1, what from the other side of the Atlantic inspired its appearance? Look at the fact that it is gray in color, it is upright. Part 1. Part 2, why was it given this particular name? Its name is L-Game. It is gray in color, it is upright, something from the other side of the Atlantic. So there are many examples of this on the other side of the Atlantic. You can give me that broad answer, or you can pick something very specific also. You can pick the most famous one from that group. It is gray in color, it is upright. And look at the name, what inspired the name? Look at the name carefully, mid-20th century development in the US. So for the first part, for the second part, you can use that development as well to get to the answer. The development and the name are sort of connected. Look at the name carefully and see if you can look at the name in a different way. That may help you with the development as well, even though we don't want the development.
Major, could you please go back to the image?
Again, multiple correct answers on this question. Shafiq Syed gets it.
Major, could you explain what you said for part 1?
What supposedly inspired its appearance? So the plot of story of this Pokemon is based on something from in the US. Okay. So the other side of the Atlantic, again, go to the other side. There'll be multiple examples of whatever inspired its appearance, out of which you can give me the most famous one or give me that broad group. Upright, gray colored. Okay, and question number 4. A character of the day is a term given to a character that appears usually in one episode of the Pokemon anime and is relatively unimportant to the series. One such cameo is from a long dead real life individual. He owns 3 Pokemon who do the work we associate with him. But the locals disapprove of his work because it makes no sense to them, and they claim that this guy is vandalizing the town. In rebuttal, he says that the Pokemon were just dash themselves. Whose cameo in which real life person's cameo in the Pokemon universe? Part 1. Part 2, what word have I blanked out? So this is the Pokemon that does the work that we associate with. So let's say this guy is a cricketer. This Pokemon would be doing the batting. So like that. So similarly, you have to pick some other kind of work, profession, whatever. And this is a very helpful image in figuring out what this Pokemon could possibly be doing. There are 3 such Pokemon doing the kind of work we'd associate with this person. And this is the guy with one example of the vandalism in the background. You can see the 3 Pokemon in the foreground. Again, don't go by the appearance. Don't go by the appearance. This is not how that guy looks or looked in real life. Look at the fact that people said, it makes no sense at all. What have you done? This makes no sense. You're just vandalizing the town. Again, from this pick, take a guess as to what this Pokemon could possibly be doing. What act that you'd associate with a guy like this guy would this Pokemon be doing? And in the background, you can see one example of that vandalism.
Major, for the second
Again,
part,
don't go by
how
the
specific do you want?
Which part?
Sorry, for the second part, do you want the exact blank, or can we just explain it in a way?
Yeah, you can, as in, I need one keyword in your answer, whatever explanation you give me. One keyword should be there.
Major, what were you saying for the first part? You said don't go by the look.
Yeah, don't go by the look of the guy. This is not how he looked in real life. Try and fill in the blank. Try and go with potential answers that fit. One of them should stand out. Okay, let's quickly cycle back. You can start sending in your answers. Which mathematician? What is the Pokemon itself based on? I want you to tell me what specifically inspired the look of this Pokemon. A broad answer will fetch you 5. The exact answer will fetch you 10. What inspired the appearance of this Pokemon, which is gray and upright? And why was it given this particular name? L-Game. And 4, whose cameo is the
Major, could you just show
Pokemon
3 for a
universe?
second,
Again, multiple correct answers for question number 4. Shafiq, Anush, Arun, a lot of people getting it correct.
Can you go to 4, Major?
Yeah. Whose cameo? If you get one part, you'll automatically get the other part. If you get one, you should get the other.
Captain, just go to question number 2 image, please.
Okay, kindly start sending in your answers. Cracked by Mahendra Balu as well. We'll start taking the answers now. I got 4 bouncers so far. So far I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Preetham and Ritvik, can you please rename your WhatsApp group with your team name, team number included?
Yeah, Kevin, done.
Okay. All right, so let's take the answers. I think we got all 8 attempts. Audience, I don't think there's any audience on this call. So let's quickly go through the answer. Which mathematician and what is the Pokemon based
Laplace
on?
and Pliosaurus.
Loch Ness
This is
monster, no?
Laplace. Laplace
Loch
is
Ness
correct, but
monster.
specifically we looked at the Loch Ness monster. I wanted Loch Ness monster. I didn't want a broad group. Wanted specifically the Loch Ness monster. 5 points for each part. 5 points for each part. Number 2.
Nazca lines.
That is a broad group, but specifically what?
The bird, the nightingale.
This is the hummingbird figure of the Nazca lines, but we'll actually be lenient, I think, and give points for Nazca lines. This is the hummingbird figurine specifically at the Nazca lines. This is how the Nazca lines were formed. Number 3.
Little Green Men, and it's inspired by the War of the World Martians.
Stonehenge?
Little Green Men is correct. LGM is LGM, which is Little Green Men.
Stonehenge.
But second part.
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge or stone circles. Stone circles, which is by gray and upright. So stone circles or Stonehenge will get you 5 points. And LGM stands for LGM, which is Little Green Men, and a reference to aliens, with LGM's backstory being the Roswell incident and Area 51. And number 4.
Pollock and Expressing.
This is Jackson Pollock. The Pokemon is Smeargle. So the Smeargle are expressing themselves as what Jackson Pollock's character says, because he's obviously involved with abstract expressionism. So that will get you the full 10. Okay, let's take a look at the scores. Team 1 on 35. Team 1 on 35. Team 2 on 20. Team 2 on 20. Team 3 on 30.
Major, are we team 3?
Team 3 is Team 3 is Samantha and Varun. Team 3 is Samantha and Varun.
Okay.
Jyotesh, Rajiv and Srinath, I think you're team 4, so you can pick up team 4. Team 4 is on 30. Team 4 is on 30. Team 5 is on 30. Who was team 6?
Major Srinath and Rajiv are team 6.
Yeah, sorry. Srinath and Rajiv, you should be team 6 actually. Srinath and Rajiv, kindly rename yourself as team 6 and not team 4.
I'm calling myself team 6 only. Yeah.
Yeah, sir, my bad. Team 4 is Gokul, who's on. Team 4 is on 30. Gokul is on 30. Team 7 is on 35.
How much did team 6 make?
30, I think I mentioned 30, right?
Okay, I was okay, sir. Yeah.
Team 7 is on 35. And team 8 on 25. Okay, and before we go on, can all teams kindly adjust their cameras so their hands are visible? I need hands to be shown at all points of time. I'm not gonna move forward unless hands are visible. Kindly show hands at all times. All right, so moving on to the next round. Clockwise, 10 questions, pounce plus 10 minus 5, bounce plus 10. If you're pouncing, you need to give me all parts on the pounce. And if a question goes unanswered, the next question will go to the team that is placed next to the one that got the previous question. Question number 1 to team number 1. A Hydra jack is a device which enables movements of objects in a horizontal plane after or during they've been moved in a vertical plane. In 1991, a case was filed by an Indian company named ABC Limited against the Union government in connection with the import duty levied on a Hydra jack. The Assistant Collector of Customs in Kanla in Gujarat had charged ABC with rupees 53 lakhs the previous year as duty, and the company argued that this amount had to be returned. The company added that the reason for this demand was due to the device not being used and later exported back, which meant the duty should not be collected. Why could this company not use the Hydra jack? So try and figure out what they were using this Hydra jack for, and then tell me why could they not use it. Again, don't go by the geographical location Kanla. It's just that Kanla was the port from where it was brought in or taken out. I have a very quick pounce from team number 4. Answered in the audience by Abhas. Great answer. If you're pouncing, kindly mention on the mic that you're pouncing and then do the needful.
Major team 3 is pouncing.
Okay. Last call for pounce, otherwise I'm closing with team 3. Okay. Pounce is now closed. I'll take team 3's pounce and then move on. So far only team 4 have pounced. Very quick pounce from team 4. Got a pounce from team 3 as well. Team 1, you're direct. Jyotish, go for it.
Yeah, going with your indication for tribute questions. This is the Buddha statue that sank in the Hyderabad lake that's currently there. So that's why they couldn't use the Hydra jack. We were supposed to put up the statue, but the statue sank, so they're like, we can't use this device anymore.
I'll give it to you. So this is what happened. In 1991, they created the Buddha statue and they were taking it all the way to the middle of the lake, and they had loaded this on a barge, and the barge toppled and this Buddha statue in Hussain Sagar actually sank, which was then salvaged and put up on the pedestal. So the Hydra jack was supposed to take the Buddha statue from the barge and install it on the pedestal, which did not happen, which is why the company argued that yes, it should be returned, the customs duty. Superb answer, 10 points to team number 1. And on the pounce, great answers from teams 3 and 4. 3 and 4 both get plus 10. 1, 3, and 4 get plus 10 on this. And question to team number 2. When this exhibition went live at the National Gallery in London a few years ago, it was appreciated by everyone for its attempts to shine light on the overlooked contributions of 12 people from a coalition or to a coalition, whichever way you want to look at it. The exhibition had a very appropriate title, which was a play on the name of the coalition itself. One particular work in the exhibition was singled out for being doubly apt as far as the title of the exhibition was concerned. What was the title of the exhibition? Part 1. It is a play on the name of the coalition. Coalition is a very loose term. Part 2. How is the specific work that I'm going to show you doubly apt? So there are 3 images coming up. The first 2 images are images from the exhibition. The third image is the specific work that you need to focus on for the second part of the question. These are all examples of works involved in that context. These were all in the exhibition. And this is the specific work which the Guardian said, okay, this title, now the title is doubly appropriate. Again, try and figure out what this coalition is first from the look of these works, and then see if you can look at the fact that overlook contributions of 12 members of that coalition. So it was a play on the title of the coalition. And one particular work, this one was doubly appropriate. That's what the Guardian said, for a certain reason. If you know the right title, you should be able to figure out why this particular work is doubly apt. And I'll give you a hint. It was doubly apt because of something to do with the painter and the model there.
Major team 3 is bouncing.
Okay.
Major, you're saying that the title of the exhibition is doubly apt for this particular work.
Correct. Yes. In the context of this work, the title is doubly apt.
So, do you want a proper noun for the second part, or an explanation without a proper noun work?
I need proper nouns for the second part.
Captain, question slide, please.
Team 4 pouncing.
Okay, I'm closing pounds with team 3 and
team 5 also pouncing.
We are also pouncing. Team 6 is pouncing.
Okay, closing with 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Question slide, please, Captain. Question slide.
Team 3, while your track is correct, that's not what I'm looking for the second part. I'll let you improve. Yeah. I clarified that it has something to do with the painter as well as the model. That's what I said for second part. While your line of thinking is correct, that's not what I want. Look at the title and think of why it is doubly appropriate. It has to do with the painter and the model. That is what I said.
Major, could you just repeat what you said about the second part?
Yeah, in the context of this painting, the title of the exhibition is doubly appropriate thanks to the painter and the model featured here. Both will fit in with the answer that I want. Yes, team 7, I need a better answer from you as well. Pounds is now closed.
Major, have you seen team 6's?
Yes, I've seen team 6's pounds.
Okay.
Answered in the audience by Vined, answered in the audience by Anush.
Major, can we answer?
One sec. Let me receive the pounces from the other two teams.
Okay.
Team 3, need a better answer still. Look at the title and give me that better answer. Team 7, you pounce, so you can't retract actually. You can retract, but I will not let you take it on the board. That is fine. Or else you want to take a risk and go for the second part. Okay, I got a specific answer from team 7. Team 3, just waiting for you. Team 3, are you improving?
Wait. So what do you want us to improve?
Your answer is incomplete.
Which part? Second part.
Second part.
Next.
Quickly, team 3. Answered in the audience by Calvin from IIT Madras. Great answer.
Captain, can we answer?
One sec. Just
okay.
Waiting for team 3. Just typing. Okay, fine. I've got an answer from team 3. Yeah, team 2, go for it.
Okay, we'll say the title is Pre-Raphaelite Sisterhood, like the Brotherhood, but Sisterhood, because these are all about women painters during who were part of the group. And doubly apt because the painter and the muse were sisters.
Who's the painter on the model?
That is the problem. We'll say Artemisia Gentileschi.
Okay, off by a few centuries.
I know.
3 pounced, team 4 pounced, team 5 pounced, team 6 pounced, team 7 pounced, team 8, you're direct.
Yeah, sorry, we are passing.
Team 1.
Yes, we'll go with Pre-Raphaelite Sisterhood, and these were the Rossettis. That's why double R.
That is what we were looking for. So this is the pre-Raphaelite sisterhood or the pre-Raphaelite sisters, featuring the women painters / models of the pre-Raphaelite movement. And this was, of course, painted by Dante Gabriel Rossetti, featuring his sister, Christina Georgina Rossetti, which is why the Guardian said, okay, this is doubly appropriate because the actual sister is in the painting. So 10 points to team 1 on the bounce, 5 points to team 2 on the bounce. We'll just be lenient and give 10 points to team 3 because they said Rossetti. 10 points to team 3, 10 points to team 4, 10 points to team 5, 10 points to team 6, but no next to team number 8. Sorry, no next to team number 7. Question now to team number 2 again. When this Indian musician passed away in 2012, Liveman covered it under a headline, which was a take on a number from a famous 1968 album. So you need to figure out a famous song from that album and then make a change one word in the title of that song. That's part 1. Now, the song featured here is an entirely different song, which was created by this musician in the early 1980s for a specific occasion, but it has received a new lease of life in recent years thanks to a different annual occasion. Part 1, what headline did Liveman use? Part 2, what was this song created for in the early 1980s? Part 3, where would you have heard it every year in the recent years? Listen to the track. All right, so that's enough. 4 points for the headline. What was the song created for in the early 1980s? 3 points. And where would you have heard it in the recent years? Another 3.
Major, the 1968 album is the same musician or it's a completely different album?
Completely different, no connection to the musician at all. It's just that Lyman thought, okay, a play on the song and title of the song would be a nice way of titling his obituary. You need to make one change to that. One change. So somebody is died. It's a sad occasion. He's a musician. Great answer by.
Did you say
Ishika.
one word change or one letter change in the title?
One word.
Major, where's the question?
Question is with team 2 once bounce is closed.
Oh, okay.
Great answer by Anusha and Vinod, who cracked this from the audience. Part answers by Abhas, part correct answer from Ritvik Rao. Great answer by Ishita Das. Anyone from the team bouncing? Okay, I'm guessing nobody is bouncing. Closing this and opening it up for team 2. So basically, I'll tell you this much. So once you make the change in the title of that 1968 song, the change title also in a way sounds similar, sort of. The word that you need to change also in a way will sound somewhat similar.
Major, can I go for it?
Yeah, go for it, team 2.
Okay. So I'll say the headline was While My Sitar Gently Weeps.
Okay.
The song was created for the Asian Games, and you would have heard it in recent years during the Republic Day.
Superb answer from Forecasting Couch there. Great answer. This is Pandit Ravi Shankar. When he passed away, the Live Mint used the title While My Sitar Gently Weeps as a play on While My Guitar Gently Weeps, and composed as the welcome song for the 1982 Asian Games. And this is the song that plays when all the dignitaries arrive at the Republic Day Parade. If you watch the Republic Day Parade, you would have heard this song featured very prominently. Great answer, team 2. Plus 10 to you. I don't think anyone pounced on this. So 10 points to team number 2 and question to team number 2. The scientific name of this animal is a nod at a physical feature which helps it get a better grip on the ground while running and then getting hold of its prey as the animal tires quickly, and hence this adaptation comes in handy. The animal does not have a direct predator. However, its cubs have a high mortality rate, often being killed by other predators. Now, these cubs have a lighter colored fur on the neck, shoulders, and the back in the pattern of a mohawk, and it is suggested that this pattern is an evolutionary mechanism to increase the chances of their survival. Part 1, what is this physical feature reflected in the scientific name of the animal? Part 2, how exactly is the pattern of fur, which is lighter colored fur, theorized to help the cub survive longer? Try and figure out which animal this is to get a better grip on the ground because it tires while hunting. So therefore, when it has this adaptation, it comes in handy. It helps it grip the ground better, get hold of the prey better. The previous question answered by Siddharth Uday from the audience, Dipanjan Dev from the audience, Anaida from the audience, Pratik Rao from the audience. Plenty of correct answers for the previous question. If all teams agree, I can give you the animal.
No, don't give the animal.
Yeah, Rajiv, why? Animal. Give the animal.
Okay, so I don't see any objection. So I have an image on the next slide with the cubs. Yeah, this is the cheetah. So what is the adaptation referenced in the scientific name of the cheetah, part 1? And you can see the cheetah cub there. It's got a lighter colored fur in the pattern of a mohawk on its neck and back. How does it help the cheetah cub survive for a longer period of time? I don't want the scientific name. I want what the scientific name means. That is the adaptation.
Team 6 is bouncing.
Team 6 is bouncing.
Major, could you please go back to the previous slide?
Team 6, Srinath and Rajiv.
Major team 7 is bouncing.
I'll let you improve on your answer. You just need to make a very minor change to your first part.
Is that enough, Major, or are you looking something totally different?
Not totally different, but I just want you to go one step further. I just say that. Just go one step further. I'm closing it with team 7 and 6. So far, no complete correct answer from the audience as well. I'll just wait team 6. Just go the full distance, team 6.
Don't understand what you mean. I mean, if we have told you the.
Yeah, but it's as things stand, I'll have to give you -5. So which is why I'm.
Oh my God. Sorry, listen.
No, I mean, it's not incorrect. It's just that you haven't gone the full distance. That's all.
This is what you get for not wanting to show the animal.
I have plenty of people give me half. Yeah, team 6, that's enough.
Okay,
I got an answer. Got an answer from team 6. So pounce is closed and question is with team number 3.
Yeah, so we'll give you the second part first, which is that the pattern of fur is supposed to blend with the savanna. So you have the dried grass. So when the cubs are running along, the top camouflages along with the grass, so they're not as easily spotted. And as far as the first part is concerned, we will say that the physical feature is on the pads of the foot of the cheetah, sort of the jelly beans of the cat, where it has grooves. Huh? Cheetah? What? So it has grooves in it that allows it to both get a better grip while running and grabbing its prey, as opposed to being flat and smooth.
Okay. All right. Team 4.
Yeah, I'll go with the camouflage funda for the second part, that it blends in easily with the savanna, grasslands, and whatnot. First part, I'll guess that similar to what Team 3 said, but basically that the footprint which the cheetah leaves behind would resemble some other animal, making the prey think that it's not being stalked or whatever.
All right. Team 5.
Second part will stick with basically the cubs are camouflaging in savanna, etc. First part is the cheetah is the only big cat which cannot retract its claws, so that will be.
Okay. Team 6 pounced. Team 7.
We pounced as well, Major.
You pounced. Team 8.
Yeah. So for the first part, we'll say that their claws, like they can retract them.
They can or can't?
Yeah, they're semi-retractable essentially. So
Okay.
to get grip, they can retract their claws. And yeah, for the second part, we'll say that the fur looks like grass in the savanna. So camouflage.
1.
So for the second part, we're saying it resembles a skunk from above, so no predator is going to want to eat a skunk. And for the first part, we're going to say that the hind legs are like longer, have longer pads for better grip, and so that they can both break and change direction quickly and grab their prey.
Team 2.
First part, I'll say irretractable claws. Second one, pattern resembles a snake, so nobody wants to mess with a snake.
All right. So it was team 3's direct, I guess. 2 teams pounced, team 7 and team 6. Team 7 will get a -5, unfortunately. But team 6, great answer. +10 to you on the pounce, +10 to team 6, -5 to team 7. And who said non-retractable clause first? I think team 5 did. Team 5 gets 5 points. Team 5 gets 5 points. So team 6, Rajiv and Srinath, do you want to give out the answer on the mic?
So essentially, the pattern when predators look at it from above, it kind of resembles the coloration and shading looks like the honey badger, which is supposed to be really feisty. So the predators stay away from it.
So this is what the scientific name Actinonic jubatus means, immobile nails, referencing the inability of the cheetah to retract its claws, because cheetah tires quickly while running, which is why the claws that cannot be retracted helps it in gripping the ground better and also keeping the prey better. Now, from above, if you look at it, a cheetah cub, it actually looks like a honey badger, supposedly. So this is the natural evolution. The honey badger supposedly is the most ferocious member of the animal kingdom. No animal, be it a lion, tiger, leopard, dare go near a honey badger, even though it is much, much, much smaller, which is why it is theorized that the cheetah cub's coloration is a reference to the honey badger's pattern, and that's why everyone else stays away from the cheetah cub, and therefore it supposedly survives longer. This is the theory behind its coloration. Great answer, team 6. Plus 10 to you.
I'm in a quiz, I'm in a quiz.
5 to team 5,
Is it
minus
urgent
5 to
if you
7,
need me?
and question to team number 6. Team 5 got 5, so this will be team 6's direct. Sometime in the late 18th century, two Englishmen were walking along a hilly area in southwest England. The two were discussing the consequences of an act. The act you will see on the next slide. This is when discussion turned to a book that one of them was reading, which is in the second slide. Part 1, what is the act that you can see in the slide that's going to come up next? Part 2, who was the guy who mentioned that he was reading a certain book? Who was that person? Part 3, following this guy mentioning that I'm reading this book, what did the other guy who was walking along with him do as a consequence? I'll explain the century. They were discussing this act. They were discussing this act. Whatever you see in the painting, take a good look. Now, when they were discussing this act, one of them said, okay, I'm reading this book. One of them said, okay, I'm reading this book. So the other guy got an idea and did something as a result. So 3 parts. What is the act that you see here? Who is the guy who said, I'm reading this book? What did the other member of the pair do following this revelation? The answer is something that all of you have heard. Again, figure out what is happening here. If it helps, this is something from the Bible. This is a biblical scene depicted here.
Vijay, could you please go back to the question?
What is it that you see here? Which biblical scene is this? When one of them, when they were discussing this, one of them said, okay, I'm reading this book. Then the other guy said, okay, now let me do this. 3 parts. Point scheme is act depicted 3. The guy who talked about the book he was reading 3. What did the other guy do following this? We'll get you 4. We'll just keep this open for a little while. If you want to pounce, please mention on the mic that you want to pounce. Again, if you get one part, you should get everything else. Try and figure out.
Major, could you please show us the book?
Again, very helpful book. Look at the title of the book. Should be very, very helpful. Great answer by Adil Jacob from the audience. Cracking everything from the audience. Adil, great. The title of the book should be very helpful here. Okay, let's.
Major, could you go back to the first? Thanks. To the slide, the text.
Complete answer so far only from Adil Jacob. No one else has given me the complete answer yet. A lot of people have got 1 or 2 parts, but not the complete answer. Anyone pouncing? Last call. Okay, pounce is now closed. Questions for team number 6.
So The act depicted, we'll get a few marks for that. We'll say that.
Wait, Rajiv. Just so we're just discussing. Rajiv.
Yeah.
Okay. First part we'll say this is Cain and Abel.
Cain and Abel. Yeah.
Okay.
The guy who mentioned the book he was reading.
Just 1 second. I'm just discussing this with Rajiv.
So let's say Srinath will say he wrote the Rime of the Ancient Mariner as a response.
Rajiv, could it be Major? This is not our guest. We're just discussing. Could this be Swift?
No, Swift is earlier, 17th century.
Okay, so we'll say the other guy. What did he do following this? He wrote Robinson Crusoe.
Okay. All right.
Okay. And who was the other guy who mentioned the act he was reading? The book he was reading.
The guy on whom Robinson Crusoe is based, that Dampier or whatever. No, what is his name?
Dampier, William Dampier.
Okay. I'll pass you, team 7.
Answer. Hello, Major.
Yeah, Munawar, go for it.
For the first part, Cain killing Abel. Then for the second part, Captain James Cook. And for the third part, he wrote Rime of the Ancient Mariner.
Okay, teammate.
Yeah. So for the first part, we'll say it's Cain and Abel. For the third part, it's Daniel Defoe writing Robinson Crusoe, and for the second part, we'll say it's Selkirk.
Selkirk, team 1.
Sorry, can you repeat what teammate said for the second part?
I think they said Selkirk for the second part.
Okay, Selkirk. So we're going to go with Cain and Abel, the first murder. The second part, we're going to go with R.L. Stevenson. And the third part is Daniel Defoe writing Robinson Crusoe.
Team 2.
We'll say that it's Cain and Abel. Wordsworth mentioned it to Coleridge, and Coleridge wrote Rime of the Ancient Mariner.
Fantastic answer there from Forecasting Couch. This, of course, is Cain and Abel. So when Wordsworth and Coleridge were discussing this, that is when Wordsworth said, "Okay, I'm reading this book on this journey to the South Pole." That is what gave Coleridge the idea for the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. So team 6 were on the right track, but they ended up changing their guess midway. Fantastic answer, team 2. You get the full 10 for explaining everything. 10 points to you. And team 6, I think, will get only one part correct because they changed their answer midway. So team 3 got the first part. They got the act depicted, so they'll get 3 points. Team 6 gets 3 points. Team 2 gets 10 points. And who said Rime of the Ancient Mariner first? Team 7 did, right? Team 7, can you confirm?
Yeah.
So team 7 will get 4 points. Team 6 will get 3 points. Team 2 will get 10 points. And question to team number 3. This film, I'll clarify, Indian film. This Indian film from the second half of the 1990s was not very successful commercially, but aroused a lot of controversy in India. As per the director, one of the primary protagonists of the film was depicted to be breaking tradition and making an independent choice, overruling their spouse. As a consequence, this character has to go through continuous trials in an effort to prove their purity. I use the word there not to give away the gender of the character. Which film is this? Part 1. Part 2, what aspect of the character was influenced by this? By this, I mean the second line. Throughout the film, this character has to go through continuous trials in an effort to prove their purity. Now, I said Indian film, but Indian is not technically correct because this was a collaboration with another country. So when you look at the credits in this film, it's actually an some other country collaboration. But very controversial in India in the second half of the 1990s. It became controversial across the country, and a lot of people were taken aback. How can they make a film like this? It's technically not an Indian film because it's a collaboration with another country. It's an Indo-film. So ignore that bit. think of controversial films across the country from the second half of the 1990s.
Team 5 is sponsoring.
Okay. Continuous trials to prove their purity. What can you think of?
We are bouncing, Major, Team 6.
Okay. Half a correct answer from Jyoti so far. Got a pounce from 5 and 6. No one else has got it right so far. Only Jyoti has got half part of it correct. Part correct by Devjit.
Major, what do you want for the second part?
What aspect of the character in the film was influenced by the second sentence in the second para? Last call for pounce. All right, let's close the pounds. 5 and 6 pounced. Team 3, you're direct.
Okay, so we'll say that the movie is Deepa Mehta's Fire.
Okay.
And the aspect of the character is that she was named Sita. She's named after Sita. Like it's,
Excellent answer there from team number 3. Great answer. This, of course, is Fire, which was about same-sex relationship. And since Nandita Das's character has to go through a number of trials throughout the film, which is why her character is named Sita, just like Sita did. So superb answer, team 3, plus 10 to you. On the pounds, plus 10 to teams 5 and 6 as well. 3, 5, and 6 all get plus 10. And question now to team number 4. Dirigism is an economic doctrine in which the state plays a strong directive role over a capitalist market economy. The period named Los Trente Gloriosos refers to one such period in a country, and the period from 1945 to 75 in this country after World War II. This nation pioneered the concept of champion nationals, wherein companies were given aid in the form of loans or mass orders placed from them. So, two entities in a related field, by related field, I mean broadly related. So, broadly they are related, prospered immensely because of this. One entity initially had planned to use gas turbines for its operations, but a 1973 global development meant that they had to look for other options. This company also played a big role in ensuring that COVID-19 patients received very quick treatment in this country. Which are these two entities from that country which prospered because of this policy from 1945 to 75? If it helps, both these entities came into being in the 1970s. One of them, very active during the COVID-19 pandemic in that country, ensured that people got very quick treatment. Even if people were far away, this entity ensured that they got very quick treatment. And this same entity initially thought of using gas turbines for its operations, but a 1973 global development meant that it did not. Now the other entity is, if you get the one entity, you will get the country, and even from the keywords there, look at the name of the period. That should give you the country. The part within quotes, from that you should get the country and figure out the two entities. Broadly, they are in the same field.
Major team 1 is bouncing.
Okay. I need two entities. You cannot call them companies per se, which is why I use the term entities. You cannot call them companies per se. Company would be a slightly inaccurate word. The entity, if it helps, the entity that I have not mentioned here, it was a joint collaboration between two companies, if it helps. Okay, I've got a pounce from team 1. No one from the audience has managed to get the complete answer yet, but part correct from Ritvik Rao. Anyone else bouncing other than team 1? This will be team 4's direct once bounce is closed. Last call for pounce. All right, pounce is now closed. Team 4, you're direct.
What did you say about the entities that they're not from same field but related or something?
They are broadly in the same field. They're broadly in the same field. All the question talks about only one entity. I gave a clue for the other entity. The other entity, you could say, was a joint collaboration between two companies.
Yeah, so the other entity is
called. Major, we want to retract. Team 1 wants to retract.
Unfortunately, you can't because you already pounced.
Yeah, that's why we haven't closed pounce yet. That's why I want to say we want to retract, and you're giving out more clues.
No, once you have pounced, then it's done.
Okay, then are we allowed to change?
You've given me very specific answers, so unfortunately I can't allow you to change because you've given me very, very specific answers. Yeah, team 4, go for it.
Yeah, so the other entity, which is the joint venture, is the Concord.
Okay.
73 development, I'll go with the Yom Kippur War. And
okay.
Okay, I'll go for the Airbus.
The Airbus, okay. Team 5.
Yeah, so 73 development, the Yom Kippur War, it's led to the the global fuel crisis and all of that. For the entities, we'll say this is the TGV rail or the French National Rail and Concorde.
That is the complete answer. So TGV trains were originally supposed to be powered by gas turbines, but the 1973 global oil crisis meant that this could not happen, which is why they became electric trains. And of course, the other entity is Concorde, which is a joint venture between British Airways and Air France. So superb answer by Team 5, plus 10 to you. And Gokul gave me only one part. He did not specifically mention global oil crisis, so I can't give you points for just Yom Kippur War. So you'll get 3 points for getting Concorde, and Team 4 will get 3, Team 5 will get 10. And Team 1, unfortunately, will get a -5. Question to team number 6. Before the transition to digital, the film screening process in India was dominated by photochemical film projectors. So whenever a new theater was constructed, projectors and sound systems were installed by specific companies such as Photophon and Vestrex. When it came to testing these new installations, these companies always called the nearest producer whose films would, fared poorly at the box office. My bad. Total, ignore the typos there. Fared, F-A-R-E-D, poorly. I don't know how that mistake cropped up. Why did they do this? Why would they always call the nearest producers whose films did not do well at the box office?
Team 3 has pounced.
Okay. Got a pounce from team 3. Quick pounce from team 3. Anyone else pouncing? Again, they have to test these things, projectors. These photochemical film projectors had to be tested. So they would always call a producer whose films had fared poorly.
Captain, whose question?
This will be team 6's direct.
It's -5, right?
To whom?
No, the negative for incorrect.
Yeah, -5 is the next.
Okay.
So you're guessing that you're already going to get -5, is it?
Yeah, worst case. Keshav, sollama ada.
Go for it.
Okay, we are waiting.
Okay, I got a pounce from team 7 as well. All right, superb answer by Jyoti in the audience, who gets this on pounce. Answered by Anush Iyer from the audience.
Major team 1 is also pouncing.
Okay, I'll close it with team 1's pounce. So far, only 3 and 7 have pounced, closing it with team 1. And 3 correct answers from the audience so far. Yeah, team 1, quickly.
It hasn't reached you yet. Please check.
Yeah, got it. So got team 1's pounds as well. So question to team number 6. Go for it, team 6.
So you're saying photochemical reels, as you use them, they deteriorate in quality. So when you want to test a new equipment, you would ideally like to use mint fresh reels in good condition. And a producer whose movie had not run would obviously not have gone through significant, degradation due to being projected in the theater. So they were as good as new.
Brilliant answer there from team number 6. Great answer. If you have to test out an equipment like a projector, you need something that's really fresh to figure out the quality of the projector, how good it is. They needed fresh reels, and a movie that has not done well at the box office would not have experienced any wear and tear and would be in mint fresh condition and therefore would work better. Great answer, team 6. Plus 10 to you. On the pounds, plus 10 to team 3. Plus 10 to team 3, but unfortunately minus 5 to teams 1 and 7. 1 and 7 will get minus 5. And question now to team number 7. Nina Dumbadze was a discus thrower who represented the Soviet Union. She won the European title in 1946 and 1950 and a bronze medal at the 1952 Olympics. Now, her exploits caught the attention of the authorities who, in the 1950s, were trying to honor another effort from the previous decade, previous decade being 1940s. It is believed that Nina Dumbadze is the most likely person who assisted the authorities in this endeavor. So you need to tell me, how exactly did Nina Dumbadze assist the authorities? Explain that bit, or what happened, or what were the authorities trying to do? Part 1. Part 2, what was the effort from the previous decade that was honored? I'll show you very helpful pictures on the next slide. I think these are very helpful images. These are very helpful images. Nina Dumbadze in the process of, she's about to throw the disc, and these are the specific frames that should help. I've not picked any random image. These are the specific images that should help.
Captain, what are the 2 parts you need?
Very quick pounds from team 1. So for the first part, I need a very specific answer. What were the authorities trying to do, and how did Nina Dumbadze help in that context? Part 1. Part 2, what effort from the previous decade were they trying to?
So when you say the effort, you want very specific, is it? And
yeah, it's a very specific effort, yes. Very quick bounces from
Captain,
teams 1 and 2.
for the second part, you need something related with the first part only, right?
Let's see.
Major team 3 has bounced.
Yeah, I got team 3's bounce.
6 is bouncing.
Okay. I'll close it with team 6 in that
5
case.
also, 5 also bouncing, Captain. 5 also type.
Okay, closing it with 5 and 6. Okay, so got all bounces. Question is with
team 7.
Is with team 7. Team 7, go for it.
Hello, Major.
Yeah.
Hello. For the
Manavar, go for it.
First part, we'll guess she was the model for the statue of for the motherland that they made, and for the second part, Soviet Union defending themselves against Germans during the Second World War.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Do you want something specific for the second one, Major?
They're honoring a very specific effort.
We'll say the Battle of Stalingrad.
Battle of Stalingrad is what we were looking for. This, of course, is the statue of motherland in Stalingrad, which is thought to be modeled on Nina Dumbadze's discus throwing pose. And of course, this was a tribute to the valiant defense of Stalingrad. So 10 points to team 7. On the pounds, 10 points to team 1, 10 points to team 3, 10 points to team 5, 10 points to team 6. And the last question of this round to team number 8. Cracked in the audience by Jayashree Mohanka and Anushaya as well. So I'll show you the image of a lady on the next slide. She served as the CIA's chief of dash during the tenure of George H.W. Bush. She once even stunned the president in the Oval Office with her expertise, with a piece quoting her, "I did the dash dash peel before dash dash did." In a case of life imitating art, it was something from 1968 which inspired most of her work. This inspiration featured hundreds of people doing something very similar. What have I blanked out from the second para? That's part 1. Part 2, what from 1968 was her inspiration? There is an image. This is the lady in the process of stunning George H.W. Bush. Is Preetham still on the call or has he left the call? I think he has left the call.
Captain, right? Preetham is not, he has an exam, so he left. He won't be available anymore.
All right, so Ritvik is don't work for the time being.
Yeah.
Major, can you go
Again,
back?
she is in the process. Yeah.
Captain, how specific you need the second part?
It's a very specific answer, very specific inspiration. 1968.
Are the two parts related? Is the first part related to the 1968 thing?
Maybe. I mean, there is no obvious link, but thematically, maybe you can draw a parallel.
Major, can you go to the visual? You said the visual is helpful.
She is in the process of stunning President Bush in the photo.
Team 5 is bouncing, Captain.
Okay.
For the second part, you just need the 1968 context, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, no. Can you go to the text, please?
All teams, I'll request kindly use your mobile phone only when you're sending in your answers. Please do not consult your mobile phone prior to that. When you send in your answers, only then take out the mobile phone and send your answers. The next time I suspect something, I'm going to call you out and you will be disqualified from the quiz. I will not be warning you again. Whoever had to get this message, if you got it, kindly don't do it again. Anyone else bouncing? So far, only team 5 has bounced. Ritvik, who's Lone Wolf, has bounced.
Major, sorry, okay. Team 3 has also bounced. Did you see?
Oh, my bad. Okay, fine. 1 sec. Team 3, your answer is incomplete. I need something from 1968. You've only given me one part. I need something from 1968, which inspired this.
Yeah, I got it. 1 sec, Major. Varun is away from the phone. That's why I'm like,
sure.
Just 1 sec.
Yeah, team 3. I'll close with team 3's bounce if no one else is bouncing. All right, so team 3 are taking their pounds back because they had not given me the answer. They were just discussing that. So closing the pounds, questions with team number 8.
Yeah, so for the 1968 work, 1968 thing, we'll say it's the film Some Like It Hot. And for the blanks...
Can you repeat that, Anshul? I didn't get it. Can you please repeat that?
Some Like It Hot, the film.
Okay, all right.
And for the blanks, we'll say it's Jack Lemmon.
All right, team 1. Jyotish,
So for the first part, we're going to go with Andy Warhol, and for the second part, we'll say Marilyn Monroe's 7-year itch pose.
All right, team 2.
So what has been blanked out in the second para? Andy Warhol, Peel.
Okay.
What was her inspiration? Velvet Underground Lama. I don't know. Where is that? Who? Just unmute and say, unmute and say.
For the inspiration, I'll say it was Antonioni's Blow Up, where there's a...
Okay, Blow Up is what you're going with. Team 3.
So this is Mrs. Mendez. She was inspired by Planet of the Apes, where everyone's like wearing the ape masks. And this is the prosthetics, and this is the Tom Cruise pulling out the mask.
Great answer there from team number 3. So this is Mrs. Mendez, like Varun explained, who's CIA's chief of disguise. So all the foreign agents would make use of all the masks provided by the CIA. So CIA's division of disguise for their purpose. So she said, I did the Tom Cruise peel before Tom Cruise. So this is how she looks like actually. And this is her with the mask. This is her in the Oval Office with the mask on. She doesn't look like this. So right in front of George H.W. Bush, she actually peeled off the mask and stunned George H.W. Bush, which is why she said, I did the Tom Cruise peel before Tom Cruise did. And the inspiration for CIA to start this division was, of course, the Planet of the Apes, where hundreds of extras ended up using monkey masks for their disguises. So great answer, team 3. Full 10 points to you. No one else got anything on the bounce, but plus 10 to team number 5 on the pounds. Plus 10 to 5, plus 10 to 3, and that's the end of 2 rounds. Shivignesh, if you can show us the scores, I'll stop sharing if you could show the scores. We'll just take a 2-minute break. If you want to take a loo or water or refreshment break, take it right now. By then, we'll take a look at the scores. People who've been keeping scores, you could just once you've tallied, you can just share the Excel sheet.
Yeah. Can we share it here?
Yeah, you can just project it on the screen.
Yeah. Mihir, go ahead.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Major, I need screen sharing permission from the host. That is you.
1 sec. So I'll make you host then. Yeah, has it been done? I have made you host. You can just check.
Yeah. So we have team 1 at scored 20 points in round 2, and their total is 55. 55. Is my screen
Team 2 is
visible?
on 45, Team 3 on 90, and currently in the lead by 5 points. Team 4 on 53, Team 5 and 6, 85 and 83, currently second and third. Team 7 on 39, Team 8 on 25. Still anyone's game. So Mihir, if you could give me the host rights back.
Okay. Done.
Was everyone back? I think there are a couple of people missing. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes and then start. Anyone yet to come back? Okay, I'll share my screen again.
You still there, Parasu?
Okay, visible? Somebody please confirm if it's visible.
It is visible.
Visible, Captain.
Okay. Right.
Except that it's
Written round, 4 questions, 10 points. The topic is time. Broadly, all questions will deal with time, something that we don't have a lot of time. As in round 1, all 4 answers as a single entry at the end of question number 4. The 2000 action film, Gone in 60 Seconds, time bit already covered in the question, seconds, revolves around the theft of 50 high-end cars, all of which have feminine code names in the film. One of these cars is the 1957 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing. The code name of the car is apt when one looks at the fact that the car has wings. Part 1, what is this 100-year-old code name? 100 years from 2000. So if you go back in time 100 years, this is a code name that would fit. So all of them have feminine code name, one word. So what is this code name? Part 1. Part 2, what is the name given to Vinnie Jones's character in the film? Presumably because he was originally written to have no nose. I'll show you 2 images. Yeah, this is the car. It's got wings. So in the film, it's got a feminine code name. And that's a code name you would associate with something from 1900. You can associate with something from 1900, and if it helps, 1930s also. Once from the 1900s, from 1900, and once from the 1930s. That code name or the context. That's part 1. Part 2, this is Vinnie Jones in the film. So in the film, he has a nose, but originally written to have no nose. He was supposed to be a character with no nose. Therefore, what is his name? Even though he has nose in the film, he still retained that name. The car has wings, or rather flies. So 1900, feminine code name, flying. That context, you can think of it from the 1930s as well. That same context features in the 1930s also in a way.
Major, are you saying the 1930s reference is different from the early 1900s reference?
No, it's the same reference. It's the exact same reference.
Captain, one doubt, Captain. So the 100-year-old code name from 100-year-old from 2021, right?
2000.
2000. Okay.
Okay, question number 2. When Germany occupied France in 1940 during World War II, one of the ensuing calamities was that the Americans from a specific industry were unable to travel to Paris anymore. To tide over the situation, they organized a first-of-a-kind event in New York. This was also an attempt to bring more recognition to all the Americans involved in the field and had been overshadowed by their French counterparts till this point. The slate covered the importance of this event in an article titled, How the Dash Took Off. What was this event? This was the first ever example of what? Again, no time reference in the question, so it has to be in the answer.
You're saying time reference in the answer, Major?
Yeah, that's correct.
Major, is the blank the answer, or you want an
The
event?
blank is not the answer, but blank will help you with the answer.
Major, you're looking for a specific event here?
You can give me, this was the first of a kind event. So what kind of an event was this? That's good enough. Even if you don't give me a very specific answer, the category will do here.
Major, in the second paragraph, when you mentioned they, who is the they here?
The Americans.
Okay.
And the blank is the reference to the time part?
The blank is not a reference to the time part, but the blank, figuring out the blank will help you with the eventual answer. Basically, let me tell you this. The blank, you will not think that whatever is blanked out can take off. It is associated with a takeoff, but it doesn't take off in itself. Whatever I blanked out is associated with the takeoff, you can say, but doesn't take off in itself otherwise. Okay, number 3. A time capsule is a cache of goods or information, usually intended as a deliberate method of communication with future people and to help future archaeologists, anthropologists, or historians. When the first time capsule in Australia was buried in Perth in 1896, it had specimens of something in vogue around then, mid-1890s, donated by a pioneer in this field in Australia named William J. Hancock. So basically, in the world, if you look at the world as a whole, the pioneer would be someone entirely different. But in the case of Australia, it was this guy called William J. Hancock. Yet another time capsule discovered beneath a statue in Madrid contains something not out of place with respect to the statue itself. I want you to tell me the contents of the time capsule from Australia, and I want you to tell me the contents of the time capsule from Madrid. This is the statue in Madrid. I'm not going to show you anything from the Australian time capsule. This is the statue in Madrid. And this is the time capsule. These were the contents of the time capsule in the statue in Madrid, under the statue in Madrid. Again, broadly, what can you see there? What kind of objects are these? This is in Madrid. So you would expect this kind of a thing beneath a statue of a person like this.
Major, could you go to the question, please?
Yeah.
Major, the contents of these two things are not related, right? Like it doesn't, there's no connection between the Australia one and the Madrid one.
No connection at all. Two different type capsules with two different contents. No connection at all.
And Major, you want generic answers for both, right?
I need specific answers for both. For the second one, I definitely need a specific answer. This one, I definitely need a specific answer. But for the first one, you can maybe give me a broad category of things. That's fine. Think of innovations from the 1890s, mid 1890s.
One second. Major, can you go to the image, please? And this is the specimen from the first one or the second one? Sorry.
Second one. This is the one in Madrid.
Okay,
I'm not showing you any images of anything to do with the Australian time capsule.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Basically, whatever you see on the extreme left, what is it? What are you seeing on the extreme left? Okay. And the last question. A perfectionist, he signed all text messages in the year 2012 to his colleague with the words, yours A. In November that year, at the culmination of whatever he was involved with, he made a visit to a special location. A photo of him in the process of examining something here received a lot of publicity. What exactly is he examining in the photograph? What is he examining in the photo? This is a photo from 2012 November. Throughout the year, he sent text messages to his colleague. Colleague is a lady. So a lady with whom he had a lot of, he spent a lot of time together in 2012. He would always send messages ending yours A to her. So this is at the culmination of whatever this was. This is him at a specific location in November 2012 examining something. What does he examine?
So the time is the fact that it is the year 2012.
No. I don't want to give away the time bit for this question. A lot of people from the audience have got multiple parts correct so far, but nobody has got it perfect as yet.
Captain, can you just go to the image, please?
A lot of people, Arun, Abhas, Ritvik, Rahul, a lot of people got parts correct, but nobody has got everything correct so far. Quickly cycling back, you can start sending in your answers. Number one, code name of the car and the name of Vinnie Jones' character. Number two, what was this event? The first of a kind. What was this event? Number three, contents of the time capsule from Australia, contents of the time capsule from Madrid. And number four, what exactly is this guy examining in this photo?
Major, could you just hold on 3 for a second? The text, I just want to.
So far, the audience member with the most answers correct is Jinson. Jinson has answered 3 out of 4. Great effort, Jinson.
Captain, on the two, question 2.
You can start sending in your answers.
Major, can you go to 4 once, please?
I got bounces from 1, 2, 3, 4 teams so far. Okay. Give you 15 seconds more and then. Another great performance from the audience, Anusha and Vinid on 25 out of 40 so far.
Major, just one question. Team, question number 4. That guy signs off as yours A, is it?
Correct, yes. That's correct. Team 6, I think we are waiting only for your answers.
Yeah, just giving it.
25 points to Jyoti and Prashant also from the audience. A lot of people have done well. 25 to Jyoti and Prashant, 25 to Anusha and Vinid, and 30 to Jinsun. Teammates, team 6's answers and give you the answers. Okay, got team 6's answers as well. Let's check out the actual answers now. Number 1, what is the code name, 100-year-old code name of this car?
Jenny?
Not Jenny. 1900 and the late 1930s, flying, a woman who went flying.
Amelia?
No. Dorothy. So the car was named Dorothy as a reference to Dorothy from Wizard of Oz. The book came out in 1900. The movie came out in the 1930s. And the second part, Vinnie Jones's character has no nose before.
The Sphinx.
The Sphinx. His character is named the Sphinx. Well done. Number 2, what was this event?
New York Fashion Week.
The first ever Fashion Week. The thing that kickstarted the Fashion Week concept was the New York Fashion Week. So Fashion Week is enough for points. Number 3. What was the content of the time capsule in Australia?
Light bulb and Don Quixote.
Don Quixote is correct for the second part. That is Cervantes, and this is a copy of Don Quixote, but not the light bulb for the first part.
A camera.
Not camera either.
Film reel?
Not film reel either. All right, so basically these are X-rays. So 1890s is when X-rays were invented by Röntgen. So these were the first ever X-rays taken in Australia. So basically he was the pioneer of X-rays in Australia. He took all the X-rays, the first X-rays taken in Australia, and buried them as a time capsule. And part 2, of course, is Don Quixote. Number 4.
Daniel Day-Lewis, Lincoln Gettysburg Address.
This is Daniel Day-Lewis examining the last known copy of the Gettysburg Address at the Lincoln bedroom. The time connect here was day. You have a day in Daniel Day-Lewis. Sorry about that. So he would always sign off as yours A as a reference to yours Abraham. All right, so let's look at points.
Day was your time connect.
Of course.
At least 4 score and 7 years ago.
Yeah, that also fits in, but here you have a more direct connect, which is part of the answer. Okay, so team 1 is on 15 points. Team 1 on 15. Team 2 on 30. Team 3 on 25. Team 4 on 25. Team 5 on 15. Team 6 on 15.
We get 20 now, Major.
You got Sphinx. You got, yeah, my bad, 20 points to team 6, my bad.
Hey, it's okay, I give them 15.
I give us 30, yeah. It doesn't, points are immaterial.
Team 7 on 25. And team 8 on 35. Do you want to quickly read out the scores? You don't need to share your screen, but if you could quickly read out the scores, total scores at this point.
So team 1 is at 70, team 2 at 75, team 3 leading with 115, team 4 at 78, and team 5 at third position with 100, team 6 at second position with 103, team 7 at 64, and team 8 at 60.
All right, hope the scores are clear. Last round, anti-clockwise, starting with team number 8, same rules as round 2. The Empty Hearse is the first episode of season 3 of the BBC television series Sherlock. The episode features Sherlock being tortured in a cabin in Serbia. The poorly lit cabin is illuminated by a single light bulb, with the inquisition of Sherlock happening under the watchful eyes of Mycroft, who is in disguise. What was the inspiration for the scene? By scene, I mean, what was the inspiration for the look of the scene? And the third paragraph also describes some of the keywords that should be helpful. There is a single light source, inquisition.
Major, are you playing something?
I'm not playing anything. I just have an image. So basically, look at the fact that there is a singular light source there, and Mycroft is the guy sitting there. He's closely observing Sherlock. He's closely observing what is happening to Sherlock in the presence of a singular light source. If it helps, the answer I want is from the 18th century. I'm looking for an 18th century inspiration for this.
Captain, just that proper noun will do?
I didn't say it's a proper noun, but let's see what you have.
So you want a specific work, or the person who created is enough, something like that?
I'm not saying anything. You can go with whatever you have. If it is close enough, I'll give you points. Ideally, I would want something very specific. Look at the fact that there is a singular light source, and Mycroft is closely observing what is happening. They're all, so the tormentors are working on Sherlock, and Mycroft is sitting there and observing everything.
Team 6 is pouncing.
Okay. Got a pounce from team 7. Great answer in the audience by Anupray, the first person from the audience to get this correct. Superb answer, Anupray.
Captain 5 also will bounce, Captain.
Okay, got a pounce from team 6. There is one light source. Something is happening to Sherlock, and Mycroft is just sitting there and overseeing everything, looking at what is happening. You could, I'll just slightly reframe, the tormentors are doing things to Sherlock. Think of an English word that describes this, and maybe.
Captain, we are also bouncing.
We as in?
Team 2.
Okay.
Major, team 3 is going to bounce.
Okay. Answered in the audience by Anush Iyer. Great answer. Closing the pounds here once I get all the pounds from the teams.
Major, did you get the pounds for team 2?
One sec. I got 50 pounces coming in from the audience, so just give me a couple of seconds.
Sure.
Yeah, I got a pounce from team 2, got a pounce from team 3, got a pounce from team 5, got a pounce from team 6, got a pounce from team 7. Yes. So pounce is now closed and questions with team number 8. Answered in the audience by Arun as well. Yeah, teammate, you're direct.
Yeah, so we'll say that this is basically the crucifixion of Jesus, and the light is sort of the halo on him.
Nice guess, but not the crucifixion of Jesus, even though the image looks like that. Team 7 pounced, team 6 pounced, team 5 pounced, team 4.
Yeah, I'll go with that painting by Joseph Wright of Derby, the Bell experiment thing.
Is that your final answer?
Do you want something more specific? Or?
I need a specific answer.
Yeah, okay, I don't have anything else.
Can you repeat what you said?
The works of Joseph Wright of Derby, specifically the one with the this I don't know the name. It's basically one guy standing and looking at the experiment going on.
I'll actually close it and give you the full 10 points. So this, of course, is an experiment on a bird in the airport by Joseph Wright of Derby. You have a singular light source and people are standing and seeing what is happening to the bird. So this is what inspired the look of this scene from Sherlock. So 10 points there to team number 4. On the pounce, 10 points to team number 3, 10 points to team number 5, 10 points to team number 6, 10 points to team number 7, but unfortunately a -5 to team number 2. And question to team number 3 now. The NBA All-Star Game is a basketball exhibition game hosted every February by the NBA and showcases 24 of the league's star players. It is the featured event of the NBA All-Star Weekend and a 3-day event which goes on from Friday to Sunday. The game has important financial implications and generates millions of dollars in revenue, especially for the host city. This factor was kept in mind while selecting the host for the 2008 edition. Which city was the game awarded to? Why? Again, don't go specifically by 2008. Don't focus on that specific year, but that general timeline is helpful. 2 or 3 years around then is helpful.
4 will bounce.
4 unsurprisingly will bounce. Don't focus on 2008 alone, but a period of 2 or 3 years there should be helpful.
Major, you got team 1's bounce?
3 quick pounds from team 1.
Team 6.
I'll need to see your hands. I'll repeat, I need to see your hands. Otherwise, I'm going to stop the quiz then and there.
Team 6 is pouncing.
Got a pounce from team 6. Very quick pounces from 1, 4, and 6. Anyone else?
Team 8 is also pouncing.
Okay. Last call for pounce. If no one else is pouncing, I'll close this with team 8.
Can I modify my bounce? I just realized.
It's still open, so you can. Answered in the audience by Akshay from IIT Delhi, by Arun.
Hello, Major.
Yeah.
Can team 7 pounce now?
Pounce is closed, unfortunately. I said pounce closed. So question is with team number 8. Yeah, team 3. Team 3, you're direct.
Hello. Hi. So we'll say that the city was not Katrina, was New Orleans.
Katrina,
and the reason
Katrina.
was Katrina, the cyclone, Hurricane Katrina, after which reconstruction, whatnot. So they wanted to get some money in. That's all.
Perfect answer. The 2008 All-Star Game happened in New Orleans only because the amount was to be used for rebuilding the city in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. Superb answer. 10 points to team number 3. On the pounce, 10 points to team number 4, 10 points to team number 1, 10 points to team number 6, 10 points to team number 8. And yeah, that's it. I'll repeat. 10 to 1, 10 to 3 on the bounce, 10 to 4, 10 to 6, and 10 to 8. And question now direct to team number 2. The CrossFit Games are an annual athletic competition operated by the eponymous fitness regimen brand. Athletes compete in a series of events like conditioning exercises, weightlifting, gymnastics, as well as activities from other sports such as swimming and cycling. Now, one of the events, so basically every year they have special events. So one of the events from a recent edition started with a 1.6 kilometer run, after which contestants performed 100 push-ups, then 200 squats, thereafter 300 pull-ups, followed by another 1.6 kilometer run. The inspiration for this event has contributed to the identity of a sporting entity, which is in blazing form in recent years as well. Part 1, what inspired this event, wherein you have to run 1.6 kilometers, then you got 3 exercises, you got to do 100 push-ups, 200 squats, 300 pull-ups. The number is not important, ignore the number. What do the 3 workouts between the 2 1.6 kilometer runs represent? So this is so they basically have to do a standing push-up. So this is the push-ups, the first set of 100 push-ups, then 200 squats, then 300 pull-ups. Now, I'll give you one small hint. The logic behind these exercises is the fact that by doing this, you end up touching the ground. They want you to touch the ground 3 times. That is the logic behind the 3 workouts. You're running, imagine yourself running, you're running. While running, in between, you need to touch the ground 3 times, as in 3 sets, basically. So each set counts as 1. So ultimately, it boils down to touching the ground once. So 3 times. So you touch the ground through 100 push-ups, you touch the ground through 200 squats, you touch the ground through 300 pull-ups. It has contributed to the name of a sporting entity in blazing form in recent years. Do you want which sport the sporting entity is involved in? Okay, I'll give you that. It's a football club.
Give.
Football club. The sporting entity is a football club which is in blazing form over the last 3-4 years. Last call for Pounce. Okay, Pounce is closed. Team 2, you're direct. Team 2, Keshav and Ajay.
Yeah.
I nominate Ajay to give the answer.
We'll say RB Leipzig.
Okay.
3 workouts.
As in, what inspired the event is RB Leipzig. Is that what you're saying?
The whole Red Bull.
I don't want the football club. That's an extra hint. That's all. I don't want the football club.
Okay, Red Bull. Red Bull's philosophy inspired. Right, 3 workouts. Maybe you'll have to land.
Okay.
No, it's something to do the ground, right? So they'll have to like land 3 times, just like some migratory birds have to do it or something.
Right. Not the answer that I'm looking for. But before that, great answer from Shafiq in the audience. The only person to crack this so far. Everything cracked from the audience by Shafiq. Team 1.
Major Team 1 can answer now?
Yeah, go for it, Jose.
So they're inspired by Colin Kaepernick taking the knee.
Okay.
And that's what the 3 workouts are representing, him touching the ground.
Okay. All right, got it. Teammate.
So we'll go on a different track. So the 3 workouts are basically like the 3 footsteps which were demanded from the King Bali by Lord.
Okay, all right.
And yeah.
Nothing for the other part?
No.
Okay, team 7.
So we'll say that this is inspired by that like iconic diagram of man evolving like from like lower primates to higher. So they're essentially touching the ground and then they move upwards. And basically the 3 workouts are basically the intermediate steps between man and primate.
Very, very nice guess. Excellent guess, but not the correct answer, but superb guess nevertheless. Team 6.
Major, we'll chimp on team 8. We'll say that the 3 workouts where they're touching the ground represent the 3 steps taken by Bali. The
Vamana Avatar.
Yeah, Vamana Avatar. The Vamana Avatar. And we'll say what inspired the event is essentially you're talking about Kerala Blasters Football Club, and maybe you're talking about because it's something to do with Onam.
I can tell you this much. Everyone in Kerala is so fed up of Kerala Blasters that nobody would put a question on them in the quiz. So I'll pass this to team number 5.
Good. Okay, Captain, for the first part, I have a guess, just something to do with the ancient Olympics.
Okay.
Inspired by the ancient Olympics.
Okay.
The events in the ancient Olympics. The second part, no idea.
Nothing for the second part. Team 4.
Okay, I think the team is Chicago Fire, so I'll go with it's inspired by a 5-man's drill. And the 3 workouts would be something like 3 actions which they have to perform during the drill. Like they maybe touch, since you said touch the ground, they maybe have to jump down 3 times or something like that.
Nice logical guess, but not we are looking for. Team 3.
Yeah, since the Kerala guess is gone, we will go with the military guess. So these are 3 workouts represent the Army, Air Force, and Navy.
Who have been pummeled to the ground by a lot of people.
And the inspiration for this event is the very first Army Games at AFMC.
What about the India-China showdown in Ladakh? Why not?
Not the answer that I'm looking for. It was Team 2's direct. So only person to crack this so far is Shafiq from the audience. Let's take a look at the answer.
It's a Kerala question only.
It's not a Kerala, it's a mythology question basically. This is from Greek myth. You're running and then in the process you end up touching the ground 3 times. In a certain context, a football club also named after the key component of this funda.
Ajax?
No.
Yes.
Atalanta.
So this is a race between Atlanta and
3 apples.
Basically, she had to pick up 3 apples. So Hippomenes to overtake Atalanta. So this is what he was given. He put 3 apples in her path. So she would bend and pick these 3 apples. So each of the workouts represent 1 apple because you need to bend and touch the ground. So this is how the race between Atlanta and Hippomenes inspired this event in this CrossFit Games. And the club, of course, is Atlanta from Italy, which is named after Atlanta. So no points to anyone. Question to team number 1. In Feb 2020, certain images of Narendra Modi and Donald Trump during the Namaste Trump event at Ahmedabad went viral. The discussion was centered around SPG officers accompanying the VIPs, one on each side. People wondered if items in the possession of the SPG officers were the ... But it was clarified that this was not the case, maybe pun intended, and that these things served an entirely different purpose. What did the crowd mistake these things for? That's the first part and the blanks. Part 2, what were they revealed to be? So I pointed them out using arrows. You can see the SPG officers carrying something. So everyone wondered, oh, is this the ... So later it was clarified it's not. So you can see, so if you take any photograph of Narendra Modi, you will find SPG officers carrying these things. What are these things? If you don't have an exact name, you can explain what these things are for. That is also enough for points.
Major, you're saying these are the guys that accompany Modi?
Yeah. This is the special protection group that provides the security to the Prime Minister. So people thought, is this the actual dash dash? They were wrong. It is not what they were thinking. It serves an entirely different purpose. If you don't have a name, you can explain what their purpose is.
Current question.
Plenty of people from the audience have got one part correct. Rahul, Shafiq.
Second part, how specific you need, Captain? Second part?
Need a specific answer.
Okay, team 5 will points.
Prashant also gets one part correct.
Whose direct is this?
Nobody. So this will be team 1's direct. Complete answer from Rahul in the audience. Great answer, Rahul. Okay, last call for pounds. Okay, I'll close the pounds and take the answer from team number 1.
So for the first part, we will go with nuclear footballs.
All right.
And for the second part, we'll go with the speeches of the two leaders.
All right, teammate.
Yeah, so for the first part, we'll say nuclear football. And for the second part, we'll say that they contain plans, contingency plans, basically, that if something were to happen, then what would be the procedure to follow, etc.
All right, team 7.
Major will guess nuclear football and bulletproof jacket.
Nuclear football and bulletproof jacket. Okay, let's see. Team 6.
Since you are hesitating about bulletproof jacket, first one is the India's nuclear football was the thought. It can't be a jacket. That thing is too thin to have a jacket. Maybe just a thin bulletproof shield or something to protect in case of firing.
Perfect answer. So this is the nuclear football, which the counterpart of the American nuclear football. And these are basically briefcase Kevlar shields, bulletproof Kevlar shields. So basically you can zip it open and it becomes an entire shield in front of the person. So this is how the SPG carries briefcase Kevlar shields to bulletproof the Prime Minister. So full 10 points to team number 5. 10 points to team number 6. We'll give 5 points to team number 7 for coming that close, even though I should not be giving them points, but I will still give team 7 5 points. 5 points to team number 1 for saying nuclear football. 5 to 1, 5 to 7. The full 10 to 6. We cannot give points to team number 5 for saying nuclear codes. I specifically wanted nuclear football. So I'm not giving you next, but can't give you points either. Specifically wanted the term nuclear football. So question goes to team number 5 now. Changla, situated at a height of 5,360 meters in Ladakh, is one of the world's highest motorable passes. The Indian Army has a permanent presence here, and it also houses the world's highest research station operated by the DRDO. It is also home to a nondescript 2-room concrete building. One of the rooms has backup power, which is activated only 3 months in a year because the environment does the job the remaining 9 months. It was built to last a long period, at least 3 decades, and has ties with bodies dedicated to a certain cause from across the country and the world itself. What exactly is this building?
Team 3 is going to pounce.
Okay.
Team 6 is pouncing, Major.
Four will also pounce.
Okay.
Major, can you go to the text?
Yeah. Okay, last call for pounce.
Team 2 is pouncing, Captain.
Okay, team 2, team 3, team 4, team 7, team 6, team 1. Okay.
Can teammate still pounce?
Pounce is open if you want to pounce. I'll close it with your pounce in that case.
Yeah, teammate is pouncing.
Okay, got teammates pounce. Pounce is now closed. Team 5, you're direct.
Can you go to the visual, please, Captain? Back to text, please. Text. So this is like, this is where they test some new technologies.
This is where they test some new technologies, not the answer I'm looking for. Team 4.
I pounced.
Team 4 pounced. Team 3.
I think team 3 pounced.
Team 3 did not pounce. They said they'll pounce, but
could you just repeat the guesses that the other teams gave?
Only one guess so far. Ritvik said place where some technologies are tried out.
Okay, I'll go with my guess. Okay, we'll say that this is to detect like nuclear bomb testing and whether there's been any nuclear tests. So this ties in with all the worldwide treaties with like test bans and whatnot. So to see whether anyone's exploded any nuclear weapons and.
Okay, I'll team 2.
We pounced, Captain.
Team pounced. Team 1. Team 1 also pounced. Team 8 pounced. Team 7 pounced. Team 6 pounced. Yeah. Everyone else pounced. Anyone who pounced, give out the answer on the mic, please.
Seed vaults.
So this is the second seed vault in the world. There is the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, and then there is the Indian Seed Vault, only the second seed vault in the world, which is in Changla, and that is where all of India's seeds are stored and preserved. And as a backup to the Svalbard Seed Vault. So on the points to team, 10 points to team 1, 10 points to team 2, 10 points to team 4, 10 points to team 5, sorry, no points to team 5, 10 points to team 6, 10 points to team 7, and 10 points to team 8. So except teams 3 and 5, everyone gets 10 points. And question now to team number 3. 5 questions to go. The Iron Man Mark III suit in the Marvel Cinematic Universe films was based on the look of something that would suit a playboy billionaire like Tony Stark. The suit's colors also had singular inspiration. For example, one particular color on the suit was based on the VFX team's expertise with something in a similar shade. So the VFX team had done something previously and they thought, okay, why not use that color here? In the Avengers, for the first time, the suit is depicted to be attached/removed while Iron Man is walking through an assembly. The scene is therefore nicknamed after its similarity to a certain process from the real world. So probably some of us would be, seeing or experiencing this process maybe once in a week or maybe even once in a month. Some of us, not all of us. What is the suit based on? Part 1. Part 2, what is the specific color based on? That's part 2. What was the scene nickname? So 3 points for what the suit is based on. 4 points for telling me what is the specific inspiration for that color. Part 3, what is the scene nickname? I'll show you the images first and then play the video. This is the Iron Man Mark III suit, inspired by something that you'd expect a playboy millionaire like Tony Stark to be involved with. That's number 1. Yeah, the color that I'm pointing at, that golden color, that is an exact shade of color used where else. The VFX team had done something similar, as in used that color very prominently elsewhere. So where exactly did they borrow this color from? That's the second part. And now I'll play the scene in question. Watch the scene.
I'm in DC tomorrow. I'm working on the zoning for the next 3 buildings.
Pepper, you're killing me. The moment, remember, enjoy the moment.
Get in here and I will.
Sir, Agent Coulson of S.H.I.E.L.D. is on the line. I'm not in. I'm actually out. Sir, I'm afraid he's insisting. Gross fine, Jarvis. I got a date.
I'll play the scene again. Read the question first. I'll have to thank Balasubramaniam or Balu for this question. It was his idea. This was based on an idea that he sent in. What is the suit based on? 3 points. The specific color here, the VFX team. If you know which VFX team this is, highly acclaimed VFX team, think of something in that specific color from a few years earlier. That exact same shade was used in the Iron Man suit as well. And the scene that you witnessed is based on a certain process from the real world, which some of us might have encountered maybe once in a month. To ensure that things stay spick and span, you might want to get this done once in a week or maybe once in a month, every now and then. The third part, I'll play it again.
I'm in DC tomorrow. I'm working.
Sir, Agent Coulson of S.H.I.E.L.D. is on the line. I'm not in. I'm actually out. Sir, I'm afraid he's insisting. Gross fine, Jarvis. I got a date.
Okay, what you need to pick from the scene is that he's walking through an assembly and progressively the equipment is working on specific parts of the suit as he walks through the assembly. 3 parts here.
For the first part, you're saying that it's something that would suit a playboy billionaire.
Correct, yes. You would expect, so something, think of any playboy billionaire and look at how stylish the suit is, and from a broad look, what could it possibly be? I'm looking for a generic answer here for the first part. But the other two, I need specific answers. A lot of people in the audience have got one.
Major team 7 is bouncing.
Okay. This will be, I think, team 3's direct once bounce is closed.
Force direct, right?
It was your direct the last time, right? Oh no, it was 5's direct. Yeah, it's 5's direct, so it will be force direct this time. Last call for pounds. Only team 7 has pounds so far. Complete answer from the audience from Anusha and Vinith. Great answer. Only people to get everything correct so far. Pounds is now closed. Question is with team number 4. Yeah, Gokul, go for it.
Hey, 3, no.
No, it's force direct.
Oh.
Okay.
Were you gonna pounce? If not? Yeah, Varun, were you gonna pounce if not?
He's static. So let's move on quickly.
Yeah, we'll move on. Team 4, go for it.
Okay, third part I'll guess car wash.
Car wash.
Second part, you didn't say how many years before, right?
I didn't say how many years, but I said few years, a few years.
Okay, let's go with something from Titanic.
Okay.
The locket from Titanic. Let's go with that. The gold color of that.
All right.
First part, I have no guess. Pass.
No guess for the first part. Team 3.
Yeah. So for the first part, we'll say this is kind of like the smoking jackets or dressing robes or whatever that people like Hugh Hefner would wear in the real world.
Okay.
The second part is actually the gold that is being depicted in C-3PO's outward robotic skin.
Okay.
And the third part is the car wash, because he's like walking through and all these machines are working on him.
All right. Team 2.
So first part, we'll say luxury watches.
Okay.
Second part, we'll say the iPhone gold color.
Okay.
And the third one is car wash.
Team 1.
Yeah, so we'll go with first one is the red and gold of Ferrari cars. Second is C-3PO's color. And the third is car wash.
Team 8.
Yeah, so for the first part, we'll say it's a tuxedo. The second part, we'll say is C-3PO, and third part is car wash.
Team 7. 7 pounds, 6.
So, Major, we'll say first part is like, it's like the expensive suits like tuxedos and smoking jackets that billionaires wear. Third part we'll say is car wash. Second part, we'll go on a slightly different tangent and we'll say maybe it resembles, it's probably the same shade as the gold that was used for the ring in Lord of the Rings.
All right. Team 5.
Pass, Captain.
Team 5 is passing. It was Team 4's direct. So who said car wash first? I think Team 4 said car wash first. So Team 4, Gokul, will get 3 points for saying car wash. Who said the ring from LOTR first? I think Team 6 said the ring from LOTR. So this was done by Vita, who did the ring in LOTR. So Team 6 will get 4 points, but nobody got the first part. I think that was the easiest part. So this is nothing but sports cars. Basically, this is a sports car disassembled and born of a suit. So sports cars inspired Mark III suit from Iron Man. The golden color on the Iron Man suit is based on the color of the One Ring from the LOTR films. And of course, this is the car wash scene. So 4 points to 6, 3 points to 4, but a -5 to team number 7. Can you quickly read out the scores once? 4 questions to go. We'll quickly look at the scores and then move on. 4 questions remaining.
So team 1 at 95, team 2 at 80, team 3 at 135, team 4 at 111, team 5 at 110, team 6 at 147, team 7 at 84, and team 8 at 80.
All right, which means team 6 currently leading with team 3 second by a matter of 12 points. 4 questions to go. Question will be direct to team number 5. The daughter of an Indian Air Force officer, she graduated. She graduated as an engineer from India and later did her master's in a specialized discipline in the US. During this period, she also received her pilot's license. However, airplanes are not the only vehicle she is well qualified to operate. At university, she won a driving competition where she aced tasks such as passing through a maze to collect balloons. This was the major inspiration for taking up the specialized discipline as her career area as well. So the specialized discipline in the first and second paragraphs are the same. What exactly has she been driving for over a decade? This is the lady. She's been driving something for over a decade. I'll accept a broad answer or I'll accept a specific answer as well. You can give me specific answers or broad answers. Second paragraph again and see if you can.
Major, you said you wanted a specific answer.
Either a specific answer or a broad answer.
Major, team 6 is bouncing.
Okay. Got a bounce from 3, got a bounce from 1, got a bounce from 8, got a bounce from 6, got a bounce from 7. Last call. Okay, closing the bounce, team 5, you're direct.
We'll say it's Opportunity, the Mars rover.
I'll give it to you. She's been driving Curiosity and Perseverance. This is the lady. So she's an Indian who's been driving all the Mars rovers that's been sent to Mars. So 10 points to team number 5. On the bounce, 10 to 1, 10 to 3, 10 to 6, 10 to 7, 10 to 8. 3 questions to go. And Abhinav Dasgupta from the audience bounced with the correct name as well, Dr. Vandana Verma. Great answer, DG. Question to team number 4. When the person who could help turned this 1970s request down, it was redirected to another guy who quickly agreed. Honoring this demand, however, posed a problem to the second guy because he was quelling a revolt in the south of his country. His resources were stretched thin, but he still stayed true to his word. So basically, he said he will honor the demand, and he did, even though he was, quelling a revolt in the south of his country. Now, nearly a decade and a half later from the 1970s, a development in a city thousands of kilometers to the east invited a lot of media attention for about 90 minutes, in the process resulting in a similar spectacle, which was promptly named after the original thing referenced in the first para. So I needed to tell me, how exactly did the second guy whose image you see help? What did he do? How did he help? I need the context and explanation, part 1. Part 2, what development from a decade and a half later from the 1970s resulted in a similar spectacle, which was promptly nicknamed after this 1970s context. I'll show you 2 images. This is the guy to whom the demand was made. And he said, I cannot help in the 1970s, in the mid 1970s. So the demand was redirected to this guy who said, okay, I will help. He said, I have a revolt to quell, but still I will help. And he did help. Tell me, how did this guy help? What did he do? Part 1. A decade and a half later from the 1970s, something was happening in a city many thousands of kilometers to the east, where something similar happened, a similar spectacle happened, which was promptly nicknamed after the original. What exactly was happening a decade and a half later?
Major, when you say thousands of kilometers to the east, you mean thousands of kilometers to the east of this revolt country?
Correct. Yes, that's correct. Yes. And maybe from the look of this guy, you can maybe take a guess which part of the world he is from. The timeline is 1970s. He has to quell a revolt. So think of the various ways in which one can quell a revolt. What all might one need? From the timeline, see if you can pick something.
You said, what are the ways in which one can quell a revolt? What all?
Think about it. Think of how, if there's a major revolt happening in a part of your country, so as a person who belongs to the authorities, what all can you do? He had to quell the revolt using something, but he said, even though my resources are stretched thin, I will still help. And he did help. Do you want me to identify the people?
No, please don't.
No.
Major, do you mean city thousands of kilometers to the west?
East. Yeah, you can. Again, the earth is round. So if you look at it, yeah, maybe you're right. It would be west, but I just took the shortest route. That's all.
Major, team 7 is bouncing.
If you go to the west, if you go to the west, you can again reach that city, but it will be many thousands of kilometers more than this. This would be the shortest route, which is why I used to the east.
Got it.
But as far as directions go, you're right. You should have been looking to the west. But only for the sake of this, what is shortest distance, I've taken for the east. And it says spectacle.
No, so Major, you want to know how the second chap helped, and there was another development.
In a city, thousands of kilometers to the east, if you take the shortest route, there something was happening for about 90 minutes, and this resulted in a similar spectacle, and everyone thought, oh, this looks like this, so let's call it this. Let's call it after this 1970s context.
Captain?
Yeah, fine.
One clue, one doubt, Captain. So, a decade and a half later from the 1970s, right?
Correct, yes. A decade and a half later from 1970s.
Okay.
If it helps, this is the late 1970s, the second half of the 1970s. This is all happening in the second half of the 1970s.
Okay, team 6 is bouncing.
Okay. So far, Jinsan and Shafiq have cracked one part, but nobody has got the complete answer. Only Jinsan and Shafiq have got one part.
Major, just one clarification. You're saying that whatever happened a decade and a half later was to the east of this particular place.
Yeah, but if you take the shortest route, it would be to the east. I just taken the shortest route. So if you draw a horizontal line, they would probably be at the same latitude.
Captain, one last clarification. So you said late 1970s and 15 years from late 1970s, right?
Correct. Yes, correct.
Okay. For the second part, how specific you need? Just
it's a specific answer. It's a fairly specific answer. So far, only team 6 bouncing. Last call. Anyone?
5 is bouncing, Captain.
Major, whose question is it?
This will be team. Who answered the last one? Who answered Mars Rovers?
My direct. 5 got the last one.
Yeah, so 4's direct there.
Major, 1 second, Major. 1 second.
Yeah.
We just.
Late 1970s, right? You're sure?
Late 1970s.
Yeah, we should withdraw, Srinath. The date is not fitting.
Are you going with it or withdrawing?
Okay, we'll withdraw it.
Okay, 6 is withdrawing. Only 5 have bounced. So question is with team number 4. Team 4, Gokul, go for it.
The first part is Ferdinand Marcos, who provided the helicopters for the shooting of Apocalypse Now, which is used in right at the Valkyrie scene and whatnot. Second part, just based on the timeline, I'll guess something to do with the 1994 FIFA World Cup opening ceremony, maybe.
Okay, so Ferdinand Marcos landing helicopters for Apocalypse Now, the Ride of Valkyrie scene, and the opening of the 1994 FIFA World Cup. Team 3.
Basically, okay, so the first part is definitely right. It's helicopters for Apocalypse Now. I was thinking the second part is when the musical Miss Saigon had an actual helicopter on stage. And that was inspired by basically a similar spectacle, media attention, etc.
Very nice guess. I'll pass you. Team 2. Team 2, Keshav and Ajay.
Just 1 second, Captain. We'll say 92. What? 92 Barcelona Olympics. Yeah.
Okay.
So team 1, we want to go with Ferdinand Marcos providing the helicopters for Apocalypse Now. And the second part, this is the chase scene for O.J. Simpson being chased, the white Bronco, and the thing, Ford, yeah, whatever. O.J. Simpson's car chase. So the media helicopter.
Perfect answer. Great answer there from team number 1. This indeed is the scene. So the helicopters in the Ride of Valkyrie scene from Apocalypse Now they were provided by Ferdinand Marcos of Philippines after Donald Rumsfeld had refused Francis Ford Coppola's request. Now, when the O.J. Simpson car chase happened, plenty of helicopters were chasing, the media helicopters were chasing O.J. Simpson's car. And from the ground, it again looked like the Apocalypse Now helicopter scene, which is why the by the media reports. So great answer, team 1. Last to you. 5 points to team 4 for saying Apocalypse Now, 5 to team 4, plus 10 to team 1. But unfortunately, a minus 5 to team number 5. 2 questions to go, direct to team number 8. The Boeing 747 SP is a shortened version of the Boeing 747 and is designed for a longer range. It was introduced in the 1970s to compete with the McDonnell Douglas DC-10 and the Lockheed L1011 TriStar, while staying with the 747 model, which was too large for many routes in its standard form. The second market requirement was an aircraft suitable for ultra-long-range routes emerging in the mid-1970s. So basically, it came about because of 2 reasons. One is as a competing aircraft with these 2 models, and the other was because it had a longer range than the actual 747, and a lot of ultra-long-range routes were emerging. Now, among all its customers, however, was one airline who did not purchase it for either of these reasons primarily. It also used for these 2 reasons, but that was not the primary motivation in purchasing this particular aircraft model. Which airline? Why did it buy the Boeing 747 in many numbers? So this is how a 747 SP looks like. You can see that it's much shorter than an actual full-scale Boeing 747. Look at the timeline. Timeline may be helpful. If it helps, look at the second reason carefully. One of the requirements was that it had ultra long range. That will somehow fit into the answer that you need to give me. The fact that this had a longer range will have
the customer is an airline, is it?
Yes, Samad, can you repeat that?
The customer is an airline.
Customer is an airline, yes.
Major, can you repeat what you said?
Focus on the range part. So it had an ultra long range. So that basic concept will somehow fit into the answer that I want.
But you're saying that the customer did not buy it for this reason, right?
Correct. So basically, you can buy an ultra long range aircraft because you have ultra long range routes to serve. This airline did have ultra long range routes to serve, but it had some other utility also for this long range of the airplane. It would benefit the airline in another context as well. It would help the airline for a slightly different reason as well, because it had a very long range. It was not just because it had ultra long range routes to serve. Some other reason where having a long range is definitely helpful. Look at the timeline. This is the 1960s, 70s, 80s. '60s, 70s, 80s. The aircraft itself was introduced in the 70s, which is why the airline could buy it only in the 1970s. It would have benefited the airline more if it had been introduced the previous decade. That may also have been. One clue, I'll give you one clue. It's an airline, it's a national airline from a country in the southern hemisphere. I'll tell you this much. A national airline from a country in the southern hemisphere. Last call for pounds. Okay, pounds is now closed and question is direct to team number 8.
Okay, so for the second part, we'll say that because it was like ultra long range route, so the fuel tanks were big, and so the airline used it for air-to-air refueling.
Okay.
And for the first part, we'll say it's Air Argentina because of like the Falklands War and stuff. So
All
they
right, nice
needed.
guess. Team 7.
Major, you had said it would have been more useful in the previous decade, means more useful in the 60s.
Correct. As in more, not more useful, it would have benefited the airline more had this been introduced in the 1960s. You could say the airline lost a lot of time in a way. By fact, because this was introduced only in the 70s. In a way. Team 7.
Okay, Major will go with Garuda Airlines, Unavir says, and for the reason we'll say that they wanted to use it to look for like space debris in the oceans and everything. So like from the moving on from the 60s, they wanted to find those kinds of things.
Nice guess again from Team 7, but not what I'm looking for. Team 6.
So Major, we'll say the second part is because of the advent of Cold War, potentially, you couldn't use the airspace. People that were on opposing sides of the Cold War couldn't use the airspace of certain other countries. So which is why this kind of facilitated it, because it could then fly direct instead of hopping multiple times to countries that are favorable to it.
Okay.
That's
And
the second part. First part, we will say, for a lack of better guess, we'll say Qantas.
Qantas, Team 5.
Okay, Captain. So we'll guess Iran Air, and this is because they have enough space to pray and all.
Okay, nice guess, but no. Team 4.
Second part, I'll go with what Team 6 said. Sounds right. And first part, okay, I'll say Air Brazil.
Air Brazil. Team 3. Team 3, Samantha and Varun.
Okay, so we'll say for the airline, we'll say is South African Airways.
Okay.
And why did it buy the Boeing 747? Sorry? Say it.
We say that maybe because of apartheid, they weren't allowed to go into the airspace of certain countries. So they.
What an answer. Great answer there from team number 3. This indeed is South African Airways. So basically during the apartheid era, everyone boycotted the airline, and the airline was not permitted to fly over the airspace of most countries. So this created an artificially inflated distance. So an artificially inflated range came into being, which is why to circumvent this, they had to have an airplane with a longer range, and ultimately went for the Boeing 747. Great answer, team number 3. Plus 10 to you. I don't think I can give points to team number 6 for this because they specified Cold War, even though the concept was correct. So plus 10 to team number 3 and no points.
Just 3 points, sir. Just 3 points.
For concept, Major. We said that, no?
Sorry,
Essentially, you couldn't fly over certain countries.
Yeah, but you said you added a Cold War bit to it, so which is why I can't give it. If you had not mentioned Cold War, I would have given it, but unfortunately I can't.
Can you have the scores before the last question?
Yeah, can you please read out the scores before the last question?
Yeah, sure. So team 6 topping with 157 points, and team 3 just near with 155 points. And then we have team 4 with 116, and team 5 and team 1 tying at 115 points. Then we have team 7 with 94, team 8 with 90, and team 2 with 80 points.
All right, so still anyone's game. I think all 3 podium positions still up for grabs. Anyone can win, place, and show.
Major, what is the difference between us and team 3? Can you just
2 points? 2 points. You're leading by 2 points.
Just 2 points. Okay.
And how about team the third place?
Third place is 116.
Okay.
Last question coming up. Before that, thanks a lot to the TV Room Quiz Club of IIIT Hyderabad for letting me host this event. And thanks to all the participants for taking out your time and sitting through this quiz. Hope it was worth your time. Last question coming up, direct to team number 2. Manolo Blahnik is a Spanish fashion designer and founder of the eponymous high-end shoe brand. He has also collaborated with many films for their footwear requirements, one of them being the 2006 film Marie Antoinette. Special expo. So basically, the concept of this expo was that they would actually take Manolo Blahnik's footwear and pair these footwear with certain items. These particular shoes from Marie Antoinette were suspended mid-air. What was the reason for this? As in, why exactly was all this being done? So your answer should contain what specifically was this particular footwear paired with and how it fits in with the mid-air suspension thing. So this is the footwear from Marie Antoinette. This is what Kirsten Dunst's character makes use of in Marie Antoinette. Yeah, and this is how I blanked out something. This is how it was suspended in that exhibition. So usually you will find footwear being placed on the ground. Instead here, it was suspended mid-air. What exactly were they trying to do? Also look at the manner in which the shoes are. So one of them pointing upwards, the other downwards. And I blanked out something from the background, bits and pieces of which, if you look carefully, maybe you can get an idea as to what sort of an item this is.
Captain, this is a one-part question. You just want an explanation.
Yeah, I just need an explanation why this was being done. What was the reason? So your answer should contain what specifically was this particular pair of shoes paired with, and why exactly were they being suspended in midair?
Can you go to the question slide, Captain?
I'll give out points as and when teams pounce, because the last question, team 7 ending on a high, +10.
Captain, team 5 is bouncing. Captain.
Answered in the audience by Aryan, +10. I just realized this would make a big difference to team 3 and team 6's strategy. So I'm not gonna. I've just announced team 7's points. I'm not gonna announce anyone else's points now, just to make it more interesting.
Can you go to the visual?
Yes.
Is the fact that it's from Marie Antoinette relevant?
Not really. It's just the appearance that I want you to focus on. The appearance is what is helpful. The fact that this is in a pink/rose color. Team 3 and team 6, I'm not going to reveal to either of you if you pounced or not, just to make it more interesting.
Major, don't do that, Major. You've been announced.
Just to make it more interesting for either of you.
No, Major, you need to tell us if you pounce, no? Don't tell us the score.
Major, pounce is closed, is it? Or can we still pounce?
Pounce is open.
Oh, it's open, okay.
Okay, I'll tell if teams have pounced or not. So +10 to team 5 who have pounced and got this correct. Superb answer. Team 5 finishing with +10. Team 7 finishing with +10. Answered in the audience by Jinsun, great answer. Answered in the audience by Aryan, great answer. Okay, team 3 has pounced. Team 3 have to pounce and they have pounced. Not going to reveal if they got it correct or not. Team 6, are you going to pounce?
Can you show the text
Captain,
one last
could you go to
time?
the text? Yeah.
The last time. Certain items.
Team 6, do you want to pounce? Team 3 have pounced. I'm not going to reveal if they have got it correct or not.
Did either 1 or 5 pounds?
5 pounced and got this correct.
Okay, then I'll also pounce.
Okay.
Can you go to the visual? The next one.
Answered in the audience by Hetvi. Great answer there. So 3 or 4 people in the audience have answered this. So team 4 have pounced and he gets it correct. Gokul ends with a +10 as well. Last call for pounce. Okay, pounce is now closed. Audience answers from Anush Iyer and Ishita Das as well. A lot of people getting this correct from the audience. So question is with team number. Team 3 answered South African Airways. So team 2, you're direct. Answered in the audience by Shania. Great answer there. Team 2, you're direct.
So they basically combined movie props with famous movie posters. So you'd say this was The Graduate.
Not The Graduate. Team 1.
With balloons for the royal baby gender reveal.
Balloons for the royal baby gender reveal. Team 8.
So we'll say this was the poster for. No, okay. So yeah, we'll say that they basically combined paintings with movie props, and yeah, no, we'll pass on what painting this was.
Team 7 pounced. Team 6.
Okay, I'll say it, Srinath, what I just put there.
Go for it. Go for it.
So we are saying that they combined it with either the painting by Fragonard called The Swing, or maybe the later inspiration Tangled or something. But essentially, the shoes are now in a swing and going up. Yeah.
Superb answer there from team number 6. This indeed is footwear paired with paintings. So basically, they picked the collections, footwear from Manoj Blanik's collections, and paired it with paintings. And this is exactly how it appears in the painting, The Swing. One of the shoes are off the foot and goes up, and the other is so in that exact same position. So basically, paintings paired with footwear, and a near recreation of the footwear in Swing. Great answer, team number 6. +10 to you. You'd be relieved to know that team 3 also got this correct on the pounds. So team 3 gets +10 on the pounds. Team 6 gets +10 on the pounds. And with that, we come to the end of the quiz. Let's take a look at the final scores. Could you share your screen for the scores?
Yes, Major. Can you make me the
I'll
host?
make you. Yeah, I'll do that.
While that's happening, thanks a lot, Major, for hosting the quiz, and sorry for all the mess during the prelims. Hope the finals were better.
All right. So at the end of 4 rounds, great work by Forecasting Couch, finishing on 80 points. Thereafter, we have Sorry Shaktiman, Anshula and Beba from IIT Bombay on 90 points. Next up, we have Jyotesh and Pratyush from IIM Bangalore on 115. Munawir and Adish from Delhi on 104. Then Jyotesh and Pratyush on 115. Just missing out on a podium, Ritvik and Preetham on 125. Beating them by just 1 point as a lone wolf, Gokul with 126. And it came down to the very last question. Runners up for the day, Varun Rajiv and Saman Subramanian on 165. But winners of the Felicity 2021 General Open Quiz, Rajiv Rai and Srinath Bashir. Thank you very much, and back to the organizers for the final proceedings.
Superb quiz, Major.
Thanks, Keshav.
Lovely quiz.
Amazing quiz, Major.
Thank you.